I started from Urumigome School in 1956. Then went to Association College, Irua, 61. That date is very, it's a sad date for me because it was a journey to that school from my entrance exam. My father was on a return journey when he died in an accident. So I had a very traumatic first year in school. But I probably recovered when in the third year. I never loved boarding schools. I wanted to be at home. Then from there I went to Federal Government College Warri for the high school certificate, to University of Ibadan, graduated in 1972, BSc Honours Forestry, 7th class upper division. I want to start the PhD program, but I was lucky enough that my senior, Dr. Bada, Professor Bada now, he graduated 71, also was retained for the PhD program. He told me that I should go and work because for 1 year I had not done anything. So I went to the Forestry Research Institute in Ibadan to work. By 74, I was in Yale for a master's program in statistics and measuration. 74, 76. I came back from Yale. I wasn't quite satisfied with what was going in civil service. So I started to go to the University of Ibadan on a lowest salary scale, but was interested in obtaining my PhD, which I obtained in 81. I rose quickly through the rank and became a professor in 1990. Then went to the University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Same day, I resumed duty. I never really had time to settle down before I became a dean. 1994, I became a deputy vice chancellor. Was in fact the youngest in terms of age and maturity. I was just 4 years as a professor. My deans from UI were in that system. Then 1 year after, there was a vacancy for the position of vice chancellor. I couldn't have considered myself at all. Then suddenly there was that demand that I should be a vice chancellor. I said, for vice chancellor, 1 year after a DVC, I really thought it was punishment. But I took the challenge because I knew God will always help you do your work.
My name is Olona Inyama. I work with the National Universities Commission, and I work in the Office of the Executive Secretary. There's a lot to be said about the older people in the civil service. You learn a whole lot from them. You cannot just discredit them completely. I've learned a lot in this system. It's my first job, and I've been on it for 5.5 years now. And I don't have any regrets. I'm not in a hurry to abandon it, so to speak. If something else, a bigger challenge comes, maybe. However, I'm not in a hurry to leave it.
So do you have fears as it concerns the Nigerian university system?
Every reasonable fellow will have fears and concerns because we're not there at the top. The universities in this country are just as good as the level of economic development. You can't have Yale and Harvard here because in the first case, we didn't have the first university until 1948. Harvard was 1634, Yale 1701. So over the years, they've made errors and made mistakes, They've grown. They also have alumni supporting the system. They have endowments. They have all sorts of things. We're going to get into that system someday. Our worry is that we want to be able to keep develop and train and retain good quality staff because they go to the best places. That's our worry. Our worry is that we must have good quality staff and we must maintain discipline in the system. That's our worry. We also have a problem about security. A good university is able to attract staff and students from other countries. If you don't have a good security setting, nobody will want to join you, and you will just be a local institution. Those are our worries. Any good planner will worry. He looks at the environment of the system that affects the system, but about which he can do nothing. Those unforeseen hands are things we worry about. So we're just saying that the system shouldn't go worse than this. We must improve from here on. We worry. Funding, we worry. These are issues.
What percentage of university program have full accreditation?
We're about 70 now. And we're aiming at 85, and 15 will be interim. We don't want to have any denied program. We're moving gradually. In that, the reason for this is that of the 104, about 104 universities, only about 56 or 60 or thereabout have postgraduate programs. It means the others are relatively very young institutions. So quality of staff is responsible for, and the quantity of quality of staff, is responsible for the poor performance in terms of accreditation. We look at staff-student ratio. We look at the quality of, we have parameters for measuring the requirements. Classroom space, library study space, what you have in the lab, must have equipment. These are issues. You now also have 3 levels of proprietorship: private, public, state, public, federal. They are not all equally endowed. That's about that. The best are the federal universities. The next best are the private universities. The state universities are hardly funded. So quality, that's the issue.
What would you like to put your thumbs up for in Nigeria?
It would be typical for me to say the entertainment industry, because it has grown and it hasn't got a lot of interference from government, so to speak. It's more private sector driven. That's a huge success story that we have. However, in the education sector, we also have a huge success story. In my bit as in the tertiary education sector, we have made a lot of progress, especially with private proprietorship of universities, expanding access for younger people to go into university, get an education. Our universities are not as bad as people say they are, because I am a product of the Nigerian university system, and I think we should put our thumbs up for the Nigerian university system.
NUC is a regulatory agency. We have to be able to pick the right fellows to go out to the field, and the issue of integrity is a very important issue. I can't look somebody in the face and tell whether he's going to do a good job for me. Professors we take from the field. So we just hope that they do a good job for us. And we are not able to monitor universities to find out whether they are borrowing equipment or borrowing staff to that effect. So we appeal to their conscience. There are major challenges. Challenge in the sense that we want to be able to convince the university system that we want to sell the concept of quality assurance to the university. So I don't have to go from here to tell them what to do. It should be self-imposed discipline to know that you need this level of activity, you need this level of integrity to run a system. Then, of course, the governance structure. If you have a poor governance structure, the system will be poor. Most of the private universities don't have good governance structure. And of course, they can't provide adequate direction for research and teaching. These are issues. When you have a council that is made up of a father and a mother and a half cousin and that, and beauty, we try to avoid those, but they still happen. Those are the issues. So you need a good quality council that will help you do the job at that level. You ask for data in the system, you won't get data. Staff student audit, we have not been able to conclude because you may not have good cooperation, people provide wrong data. So planning becomes very defective. So that are the challenges of quality assurance.
The kings and queens of Africa.
Hey to all my ladies, 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 put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, put your hands up, hey to all my ladies, to all my ladies. I'm a demo daro, I'm a demo daro.
Nobody can change that, appreciate me, make you love me, and follow me sing the song. Even when no matter 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 to get money, I want it, but to get.
Wow, this part of Abuja reminds me of when I came to the National Universities Commission and interviewed the Executive Secretary, Professor Julius Okoje. And we talked on issues bordering the mentorship of the older staff on the younger ones. There were other subsequent interviews, but watch this. Happy viewing.
I really don't know you, and I know viewers do not know you, as in some viewers do not.
I'm Chris Miyaki.
Okay.
Yeah, I hailed from Kwande in Kwanpan, local government of Plateau State.
Okay.
I'm married with 3 kids. I went to the famous Ahmadu Bello University Zaria.
Okay.
You don't think it's not famous enough?
Oh.
I went to ABU. I studied international relations, and I did a master's in international law and diplomacy from the University of Jos. Basically, I speak some French and some Spanish as well.
Wonderful. I love Spanish.
¿Te gusta mucho español? Sí, sí, sí. Okay, and then I generally have a flair for languages. When I was 6 and 8, respectively, I had lost both parents. So life has been very eventful. God has been very faithful and gracious, and my experience in life has I'm reassured that in spite of your circumstances, that you can still rise up.
Yeah.
You can still stand up, to be counted. And so we basically were brought up by our grandma from rents, accruing from our father's properties. And we struggled to pay our way through school, and most of us went to school. We went to school. My brother's doing his doctorate now in law.
That's great.
My older brother, we were in ABU together, and yes, and I spent some years in my village, and I'm so proud of my heritage. I couldn't have had the experiences that I picked up from my village if I were to be in a classroom situation. I like going through ABU. I was exposed to so much, power politics. I'm not a politician, but I love to criticize. I love to, critique. I like to talk to politicians, but I do not find the terrain, the level playing terrain as of yet, because there's so much, that I get scared of, In a nutshell, this is what, and I joined my career, my public service career. I served at Albany Kuku College of Education in Imo before Imo State was Abia was created, and I taught there. Subsequently, I went to the University of Jos, and then I joined the civil service 22 years ago, and I worked in the cabinet office as an administrative and policy officer. Yeah.
You've been positively round.
I then left. I joined the National Universities Commission on Transfer of Service in 1993. And I've risen through the ranks and attained the position of Deputy Director in 2009. The media. Some kids just get engrossed with audiovisual materials, iPads, iPods. There's so much distraction from the media.
Exactly.
And the earlier we rekindle the reading culture, we need to go back to the reading culture, because if you don't read, when I went to school a couple of decades ago, I only went back to read if I forgot what I was taught. The implication is that I was always on top of my academic situation. This was my training, my upbringing. And so we need to revisit the culture of reading. We need to, we need to put in place confidence building measures. The youths are losing a lot of confidence in the country, in the culture, in the society, in the elites, we need to go back to the basics, you know. And but Nigerian graduates, when they go out of this country, you know, my son at the moment is in the UK, and my boss's son, I know, went to Yale after him, OJ, and they displayed high intellectual credibility and excellence. So sometimes just the environment, you know, the tools are not there, the environment, the air you breathe. We're going into institutional accreditation now as the National Universities Commission, and we're interested in more than what your discipline and your program is doing. Because accreditation hitherto looks at, you know, the strength of your program, the state of health of the course that you're running, the facilities, the staffing situation, the workshops, all the things that makes a program, you know, healthy. But we're going beyond that now. As a commission, we're looking at the air you breathe. Let me be sarcastic. Even the air you breathe when you drive into a campus, the toilets, the hostels. There are other things. We're looking at the residential areas. We're looking at the sporting facilities. You know, there's so many things. We're looking at the totality of, you know, the university life. When you drive into a campus, what do you feel? And so that also impacts on the quality of our graduates.
So you would say, in essence, you would say Nigeria has been fair to you?
Yeah, I couldn't live elsewhere. Let me say this: I have a very deep conviction about my country, about my heritage, about the things that have shaped my life. Nigeria, there is no, I strongly believe, I belong to this group of Nigerians that believe that we can do it. We should stay here and fix this country.
Now you are in trouble. They say they want me to dance. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you don't, please send me an email.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hi, I'm Hilda Dogubo. I'm hanging out with Munachi on
Reflex. Christ have Milima, El Samurai with the holy fire.
I'm hanging out with Munachi. She's great, she's lovely.
Hi, this is P. Lola. I hope you're having fun. Let's meet you. Cheers to us. I am still here. It's family time. Friends enjoy when it's friends time, and that's how we just balance it.
Jack of 10 twins and master of all, El Samurai.
Keep watching. Munachi, she's sexy, she's captivating, she's enchanting, she's captivating.
This is why I love Nigeria.
Good. It should end there now. Yes, I ended though.
I know who you are. obviously, but
did you cut it? We're starting all over again.
Yeah, we're starting all over.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
What did you do?
You're the bomb.
You
Interviews that followed suit. Happy viewing. The sun is too much.
I would love to take you on this trip to Abuja, to the office of the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian University Commissions.
To take that again, the office of...
I'd like to take you to the office of the Executive Secretary, to the Nigerian
University Commission.
Professor Julius Okoje in the Nigerian Universities Commission. And
National universities. You are saying Nigerian.
I said Nigerian again.
Yes. National.
Okay.
Called twisting and all. Yeah.
Okay. And it's when you look
I thought you.
cut.
And it was flowing.
I love Africa. We're chilling with Munachi. Thumbs up, Africa.